give this a shot. Okay, so I clearly need to still do this half. Like I need to add the jaw and the cheekbone. So let me do that real quick before I do the teeth. When I'm making a skull, I just look at the model in front of me and I kind of like just look at the angles that are happening. You look at the angles of the bone. So I know on the model, when I look at the cheek, there's like a slope. There's a plane, kind of a flat plane of the cheek that's right here, and then and then it comes around and it arches around and it connects into the back of the skull right here. And I know that I'm going to have like an ear canal right where it connects down here. Okay. So let me work on this side, and I'm going to try to match that. So I'm going to just add some clay. Remember, when you're adding clay, just add little bits that are soft. Make sure your clay is soft that you're adding it to, and then you just smear it in so that there's no air pockets. Okay. I'm going to first work on getting the cheekbone built up. Before I do a jaw, I really need the cheekbone so I can tell where the jaw fits. So here's my eye socket, and I know that there's the cheek kind of pushes down. And I'm just going to add clay around for the arch. The zygomatic arch is the cheekbone. And it just arches right around here and connects back into the skull right about here. But I know that it protrudes out, like the cheekbone protrudes out. So here, it's called the temple of the head. And I know that if I push this down, it's gonna like actually make the place where the zygomatic arch comes around. And it kind of connects back here. So I just keep adding clay and little bits and pieces like this. This is just typical modeling. Just add wet clay and smear it on. Hi, Taylor. You want to be on the video?
No.
Well, you are. Yannick, because I've never seen him.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Get this. I'm going to define where the zygomatic arch comes down. Now that I have decided where the cheekbone is going to connect into the back of the skull, right here, now I can decide where the jaw is going to be. Okay? And I'll just hold my clay like this, and I'm just going to add bits of clay for the jaw. Build it up. Okay. Now, if you look at the model on your table, you can tell the jaw actually fits up underneath the cheekbone. So I kind of like have to create the illusion of it being a separate bone. So I just push the clay up under the cheekbone, and it kind of looks like it's going under it. Okay. So here's my jaw. I'm going to build it up a little bit. I know there's a little bit more of a jaw right there. Okay, we're about ready to do the teeth. Once you get the jaw in, teeth are pretty fun. Okay, if you look at the bottom, you can kind of see I've created, it's almost like a little horseshoe where the jaw is. All right. So let's go ahead and start working on the teeth. Okay. The cool thing about the teeth, let's see, does someone have a model skull they could bring over here? I could kind of just show something on it. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. The cool thing about the teeth, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. We always are used to doing drawings of like smiley faces and stuff, and we have this like flat line with the teeth drawn in. You know, it doesn't look like that. If you look real close at a three-dimensional thing with teeth, look what happens when I open the jaw. Well, see the shape? See how it's like arched right here? It's arched. And if you look at the very back teeth, the very back molars, and draw a line, you like kind of project a line from the very back teeth up the front of the skull. The back teeth hit the middle of the eye socket back here, which means they're not flat on the face, they're arched around. And so when I sculpt it, I keep that in mind. I look at my skull and I'm like, the teeth have to hit, the very back teeth have to hit the middle of the eye socket. So I'll just kind of take my finger down here and I'll just push it in. I'll push it in like this, and that arch that is created around here, that's where the teeth are going to go. And when I pushed it, it kind of made this weird hole right here. Well, it's cool, like this cheekbone area blends into, it's called the maxilla, that arched part where the teeth are. It kind of just blends right into that maxilla. And this part here is part of the jaw. So it's actually separate from the cheek. And I need to push that jawbone so it looks like it's going up underneath. The rest. Okay, there we go. Now it's starting to look like it has room for us to do teeth. Okay. It's getting there. Sometimes I'll look at my model from the side and say, all right, let's match this up. So I need more of an arch in here. That zygomatic arch is going to come arching up and back into the skull. Back here, the actual jaw is going to be here. Needs to be longer. I just squish and shape it. If it doesn't feel long enough, hopefully your clay is soft enough, you can squish it and move things around. Okay, well, I said we were going to start the teeth, and that was a long time ago. Yeah, I have to get the jaw better so it all matches up. Okay. This is adding good. This is adding really nice because the clay's soft. Okay, here we go. And when I post this video on Canvas, it'll probably be time-lapsed and everything, so it won't look like it takes this long. But you can see it takes a while to get it right. Okay. Teeth, let's go for it. Ooh. Okay. Definitely not perfect yet, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Here we go. So, teeth. This is what I do. First of all, I look at the skull and I say, all right, I make a line. I draw a line and say this is where the lower jaw and the upper jaw are going to meet, where the teeth meet. This is our smiley face. Okay, and then I'll make lines. Say, all right, so pretty much the middle teeth are going to be here. I'm going to have a tooth here, here. And for this, I know I'm asking you to do a realistic skull, but I'm not going to count the teeth. And I'm not going to get real picky at that. But I made some lines on here that kind of tell me where the things are going to be. Okay, and then this tool seems to work really good. This one. That is blurry. Yep. Are you going to ask me how to do this later? All right, and then I take my modeling tools, and this is where I start sculpting the teeth. I'll push in where that middle is, or where the two teeth meet, top and the bottom teeth meet. I'll push in, and then I like to use this rounded tool and kind of push up where I imagine this is what the teeth are growing out of. And then I'll go back with a sharper tool like this, and I'll sort of give it some three-dimensional shape. I don't want the teeth to be flat, I want them to be rounded. So I'll kind of just make these rounded. This is where, if you did a smaller one, the teeth are going to be really hard because the smaller they are, the harder they are. You might have to use different tools. Okay, see how it's kind of starting to look like rounded teeth? Now here's a little trick. I take my finger. Nope. I take my finger and I kind of push that piece over that I just dug under. So it really does make it look like the teeth are growing out from underneath the skull. There's roots. Oh, speaking of roots, let's make a place for the roots. If you look at your model, you notice there's little bumps where the teeth grow. If I use my tool like this, I turn it upside down and I kind of just push in. Kind of makes a little indent. And then if I go back and just smooth it out with my finger, it kind of softens the bone. It's like the teeth they have roots that are growing all up inside the maxilla. And that's how I do teeth. And then I'll just go back and clean things up. Sometimes a little needle tool will help to clean it. I don't have a needle tool, but like that. Push this down so it's nice and there. It kind of looks. They look like, even though they're not each separate teeth, they look like they are, right? Does that make sense? And then you just work away. You just keep going back, looking at your model and comparing yours with the model and see what you can change. Everybody good? Okay, I'm gonna keep working on mine and then.
You're sculpting away.
I am.
That's awesome.
I am creating videos that I do not have to redo the whole thing every time.
That's good.
But yet, students will still ask me, how'd you do that?
How did you do that?
Would you like me to show you? Or would you like to watch the video on Canvas?
Oh, I love both.
Yeah, I just don't get on Canvas. I don't do Canvas.
Oh, okay.
It's not my thing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That really makes
Maybe
those
school's
teeth-
not your thing.
It makes teeth look really nice there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, he's making cool teeth. With the gums in it, kind of recedes into the wood of the bone. That's awesome.
Mr. Moffett,
What's up?
how do I have the roots showing through the skull?
How do you have what?
The roots showing, because there's not a lot of room, because mine's smaller.
You definitely made it a little too small, huh?
Yes.
Maybe you need to build up clay. That's like we've got to get the
Okay.
mass of clay there. So you need. See how there's like this scoop under here?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Look at the skull and see what actually happens.
Okay.
And try and get the angles right. And then you have to might have to build up some more clay where the roots are.
Okay.
Before you start putting the teeth in, make sure you have the space for them. Be an orthodontist. Put spacers in there. You guys probably want your skull back, don't you?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Keyshawn, how's it going over there?
I think I'm starting to get it a little bit.
You'll get it. This is all just, it's all just experimenting and. Oh, you guys, I'm noticing that I'm missing a lot of, like, I need to have more mass up here. And so, luckily, my skull is soft enough still that I can just squish some of the clay around. Just squish some of the clay that's back here up into the top. It'll all be just fine. Yeah.
I'm still kind of struggling
With the teeth? That's normal. I struggled for many times. It's okay. I think you just have to keep trying until it works. You saw the one I did in high school, right? Yeah, it was struggling for sure. Did you make a hall pass? Hey, Mira, if you want to bring it up here, I can. Let me stop my recording.